Hello, this is Rob. This is a video on the Dodge Diesel 5.9 third gen. So this is my truck here. It's getting close to 90,000 miles. It's a 5.9 G56 transmission. People know what that is, if, you know, obviously if they're watching this video. So the truck's clean. I just wanted to do a quick video on clutches. So one of the things I wanted to talk about was I got a new little tripod with a Hero 10 finally. Went from a Hero 3 to a Hero 10. But what I wanted to say was I had a clutch. So this thing had the stock clutch in it, right? Dual disc flywheel is what they call it. Talking about smooth shifting. It's just like, you know, really like driving a Honda Accord or, you know, a manual transmission. It was like a car. So I moved, so if you add a little horsepower to these, you know, for towing, I tow a 12,000 gross fifth wheel, and you want a little extra power, the stock clutch, it'll start slipping. So, and that's where that was. So at any rate, I nursed it as much as I could, and one of the things that I was on a long trip down to Tucson, but anyway, on the way back through Reno, I ended up having a cracked injector line. So it was either number 4, you know, the famous one that, you know, they got a whole new design, a new clamp that goes on there like it should, because I checked the blue clips and stuff. But anyway, that's not what this, well, part of the point was is I had it at the Dodge dealer in Reno. The clutch was slipping. I was going to make it home. I live over in Redding, so it was another couple hours to home, but you know, they towed it in there, and the injector line wasn't too bad to fix. 120 bucks or something like that. And I said, hey, you know, been thinking about it, getting a clutch put in. I had a bid from a local independent, and they came back with he goes, yeah, we can put in a South Bend Clutch. And I'm like, oh, that's not a problem. You know, this is a Dodge dealer. And so I got a price. It was, you know, it was really only about $300 more than local independent. You know, this is for a Dodge dealer. Anyway, I said, do it. So I ended up getting after some back and forth with South Bend, telling them, you know, what I do for driving, what I tow. I didn't get to go into the dual disc clutch, so I went with a G56. I think it's 0K or OK HD. So it's the full organic single disc. Got the kit, so you know it comes with a flywheel, clutch reservoir, you know, everything to deal with that clutch. So that was all replaced. Broke it in. I don't know what the break-in was, up to 1,000 miles or 500 miles. So I had to break it in. I probably have 3,000 or 4,000, maybe 5,000 miles. You know, I definitely have at least 5,000 miles. So this is my review on that South Bend clutch, the pluses and minuses. So sorry it took me a little bit to get here. First thing is, it didn't slip anymore, obviously. It had good power, but I was running the ATF transmission fluid in it, you know, that Dodge recommends. Loud, very, very loud. And this truck only has, well, at that time it was like, you know, 85,000, 84,000 miles. And it's pretty well taken care of. But anyway, a lot of noise. So I was down in the Central Valley. I towed down there by Fresno area, and coming back, I'm like, dang, this is really loud. I've looked online, and I decided to go with that Devlac 50 oil. So I bought I think it's supposed to be 7 quarts. Anyway, I bought 2 gallons, I guess, and so put that in. You know, just actually went a quart above the fill hole, like a lot of people say to do. So I did that, and boy, it sure quieted down, really quiet. Now, I live in Redding, which I call Northern California, really. In the winter times, it can get down into the 30s, you know, but typically it's 30, 40s. So it was a little stiffer, you know, you got to warm it up. Once it warmed up, it was just fine. So I know that's a consideration for people in other parts of the country. And there's some people that put it neutral and put the, you know, transfer casing gear and warm it up different ways. But at any rate, I never really had any issues with it. Usually the time I get to the end of my road, which is not even a quarter mile, it's good to go. It's definitely driving. It was really quieted it down. I felt actually pretty good about it. Okay, so that's one thing. Couldn't use the ATF. I didn't feel like it was protecting enough, or definitely a lot of noise. The second thing is you got to learn how to drive a little differently. So, and maybe that's better, because lugging, you can't lug. With the other clutch, second gear, second, third, you go around in a parking lot. But now you need to keep it above. You get a little gear roll over noise, they call it. I don't quite completely understand it, but there's just a lot more vibration and things that was dampened with the stock dual mass flywheel. And so all that's going straight now, like a regular flywheel and clutch, into the transmission, all that vibration and noise. So you have to, if you keep it above 1500 RPM when you're driving around, if you're going, I mean, you know, in parking lots and stuff like that, or most places, you don't have any noise at all. Everything seems normal. So, and it's probably good you're not lugging it anyway. There's a lot of torque in that motor. Okay, so that's the second part of it. The third part, which I think is really important, is when you're working with a trailer, you know, and you're backing. My setup where I live, I have a fifth wheel, and so my arrangement is I don't have a pull through, unfortunately. But anyway, I have to back it in. It's a 90-degree back, so I'm doing a little jackknife to put the trailer where it needs to be, or even in the campgrounds, right? So I put it in four-wheel low. It's a four-wheel drive truck, so I had to put it in four low, or you get a little too much hop. I'm not sure why, and I've read a lot of people do that. I don't know if there's something I can do to, I don't know if there's buildup on the clutch. I don't think so. But when I put it in four-wheel low and reverse, it's slow, no issues, no hopping, no grabbing, no anything. It just backs up nicely. But you know, that's a little harder on the vehicle. It would be nice because it's in full-time four-wheel drive. So, you know, the next best thing would be to put on manual hubs, which at this point I don't have any issues with bearings or anything like that, or I don't have any problems with any of the suspension. So, you know, it's probably 2,000 or 3,000. I don't even know, somewhere in there to probably have it done. I probably wouldn't have tackled a job like that myself. But anyway. Then you could obviously put it in low, and you can be backing up and doing things without the four-wheel drive. And to me, the four-wheel drive low is so slow, and a lot of times on the roads there's no gravel, and especially in campgrounds, you know, it's really not a lot of wear and tear on it. But it's pretty much, I have to do that, you know. So that's one of the bigger things to be aware of. The next thing is getting closer to 60, so the clutch is definitely stiffer. You know, it's a stiff clutch for my leg, and so that's a consideration if you have weak legs, or you have issues with your legs or your knee joints, or so everything overall, I'm in pretty good shape. So, but I know it's a little tiring when you're in town going through and on long trips, say. So that's just something to think about. So that's kind of my update on the southbound G56. I think it's O, so it'd be organic, OK, G56-OK. So that's kind of my update on the southbound G56. I think it's O, so it'd be organic, OK, G56-OK, HD clutch. So I'd recommend it, obviously. If you're running, I think it's good to up to 425 horse. Anyway, don't quote me on that, but if I had to do it again, if you're going to tow heavy and stuff like that, you know, I would definitely get the South Bend clutch. I definitely recommend it for the situation. If I had to do it again, if you're going to tow heavy and stuff like that, you know, I would definitely get the South Bend clutch. I definitely recommend it. I think I've talked enough here. I just say I wish you well, everybody. Have a great summer. Happy 4th of July. It's in a few days. All right, take care.